Good morning, friends. In this video, we will continue our previous year question series. And in this particular video, we will cover 2018 December NTA UGC NET English Literature questions from 87 to. So let's get started. The question is, read Adam Bede with such pleasure that she not only keenly recommended it to her relatives but also commissioned two paintings of scenes from the novel. And option A, Queen Victoria. Option B, George Eliot. Option C, Horace Nightingale. Option D, Margaret Cavendish. So the answer of this question will be option number A, that is Queen Victoria. Adam Bede, the first novel written by George Eliot, was published in 1859. It was published pseudonymously. The pen name of Mary Ann Evans was a well-published and highly respected scholar of her time. The plot is founded on a story told to George Eliot by her aunt Elizabeth Evans, a Methodist preacher, and the original of Dino Maris of the novel of A Confession of Child Murder, made to her by a girl in prison. Victorian era period considered from 1830 to 1901. From reign of Queen Victoria to the death of Victoria. Queen Victoria introduced Adam Bede, George Eliot's novel, to Prince Albert immediately after rereading it. She marked several philosophical passages in the margins. In May 1860, the Queen Victoria commissioned Edward Cornbold to paint watercolors of two scenes from the book. Now the next question, that is 88. The grammar bullies. You read them in places like the New York Times and they tell you what is correct. You must never use. Hopefully we will be going there on Thursday. That is incorrect and wrong, and you are basically an ignorant pig if you say it. This is judgmentalism. The game that is being played there is a game of social class. It has nothing to do with the morality of writing and speaking and thinking clearly, of which George Orwell, for instance, talked so well. To which famous essay of Orwell does the author refer here? Option A, Inside the Whale. Option B, Why I Write. Option C, Reflections on Gandhi. Option D, Politics and the English Language. So the answer of this question will be option number D, and that is Politics and the English Language. Let's see something more about this. Politics and the English Language is an essay by George Orwell that criticized the ugly, inaccurate style. For Orwell was never simply a question of aesthetic. It was always inextricably linked to politics and to truth. All issues are political issues, and political itself is a mass of lies, evasions, folly, hatred, and schizophrenia. When the general atmosphere is bad, language must suffer. Language is a political issue, and solemnly use of language to hide unpleasant political facts. Bad language, he believed, was a vehicle for oppressive ideology, and it is no accident that politics and the English language was written after the close of World War II. Eric Arthur Blair, better known by his pen name Orwell was an English novelist, essayist, journalist, and critic whose work is marked by lucid prose, awareness of social injustice, opposition to totalitarianism, and outspoken support of democratic socialism. And his notable works: Shooting an Elephant, Why I Write, A Hanging, Adam Bede, Politics, and the English Language. Now, the question is, match the plays to their setting. Option A, Crepes Last Step, Happy Days, Waiting for Godot, Endgame. So, the setting: a country road, a tree, bare interior to a small windows high up, grey light, expanse of scorched grass forming a low mount, blinding light, a late evening in future, white light. So the answer of this question will be option number D. So A will go with 4. Krapa last step, a late evening in future, white light. B will go with third. Happy days, expanse of scorched grass forming a low mount, blinding light. C will go with first. Waiting for Godot, a country road, a tree. And end game, it will go with the second. It means bare interior, two small windows, high up grey lights. So the correct match is Crab's last step, a late evening in future, white light. Happy days, expanse of scorched grass forming a low mount, blinding light. Waiting for Godot, a country road, a tree. End game, bare interior, two small windows, high up grey light. Now the next question, and that is question number 90. The following epitaph was written by Rudyard Kipling during the War of 1914 and 18. Hindu Sipahi in France. This man is his own country prayed we know not to what powers. We pray them to reward him for his bravery in ours. Powers here refers to dot, them to dot, and ours to dot. So option A, the Hindus, the French, the British. Option B, the military, the Hindu Sipahis, powers. Option C, the divine powers, our country. Option D, authorities, his compatriots, our country. So the answer of this question will be option number C, and that is powers here refers to the divine. Them to powers. Ours to our country. Powers here refers to the divine powers. Them and ours refers to our country. Hindu Sipahi in France, the man in his own country, we know not to what powers. We pray them to reward him for his bravery in ours. Rudyard Kipling, born in 1865 and died in 1936. Rudyard Kipling, an English poet, short story writer, and a novelist, chiefly remembered for his celebration of British imperialism, tales and poems of British soldiers in India, and his tales for children. Kipling received the 1907 Nobel Prize for Literature. He was born in Bombay in the Bombay Presidency of British India, was taken by his family to England when he was 5 years old. Kipling is best known for his works of fiction and his notable works: The Jungle Book, a story collection which include Rikki Tikki Tavi, Just So Stories 1902, Kim 1901, A Tale of Adventure, The Man Who Would Be King 1888, The White Man's Pardon 1899. Now the next question, match the following authors with the novels. So name of the authors and novels: Chitra Banerjee, Dev Karuni, Anita Rao Badami, Anjana Apachana, Indira Ganeshana. So Inheritance, Listening Now, Sister of My Heart, The Hero's Work. So option will be A. It means A will go with the third. Chitra Banerjee, Devkaruni will go with Sister of My Heart, and B. Anita Rao Badami will go with number 4, The Hero's Walk. Anjana Apachana will go with the second, it means Listening Now, and Indra Ganesan will go with Inheritance. So Chitra Banerjee Devkaruni will go with Sister of My Heart. Anita Rao Badami will go with The Hero's Walk. Anjana Apachana will go with Listening Now. Indra Ganesan will go with Inheritance. Now 92 number. Ellen Tate once made a useful distinction between structure and texture. The distinction refers to option A, the main line of a narrative, argument, etc., and the rhetorical, stylistic, metaphorical, and other devices, respectively. Option B, the rhetorical, stylistic, metaphorical, and other devices, and the main line of a narrative, argument, etc., respectively. Option C, the devices implied to enlighten objects and materials in a narrative, and the objects and materials themselves, respectively. Option D, objects and materials on which a narrative casts light, and the devices implied to enlighten them, respectively. So the answer of this question will be option number A, the main line of a narrative, argument, etc., and the rhetorical, stylistic, metaphorical, and other devices, respectively. Ellen Tate, an American poet and critic. Tate was a member of the agrarian movement at Vanderbilt and later a new critic. Tate, primarily a poet and critic, both of literature and in the realm of ideas where literature, morals, and politics exist side by side, was one of the theorists of the figurative groups, and the fathers could be taken as a dramatization in fiction of ideas of society and tradition. According to Ellen Tate, structure is the main line of a narrative, argument, etc., while texture is the rhetorical, stylistic, metaphorical, and other deuces, respectively. So, we have now question number 93. Match the character with the works. So, we have the characters and name of the work. Rupert Birkin, Lydia Lansky, Miriam Levers, Richard Somers. Sons and Lovers, Kangaroo, Women in Love, The Rainbow. So, the answer of this question will be option number C. It means Rupert Birkin will go with Women in Love. Lydia Lansky will go with The Rainbow. Miriam Levers will go with Sons and Lovers. Richard Somers will go with Kangaroo. Rupert Birkin will go with Women in Law. Lydia Lansky will go with The Rainbow. Miriam Levers will go with Sons and Lovers. Richard Somers will go with Kangaroo. Now question number 94. What tone will be best suited to the following poem? The coming of wisdom with age. Though leaves are many, the root is one. Through all the lying days of my youth, I swayed my leaves and flowers in the sun. Now I may wither into the truth. So option A, excitement. Option B, exaltation. Option C, revulsion. Option D, regret. So the answer of this question will be option number D, regret. The Coming of Wisdom with Age is written by William Butler Yeats. On the last stage of his life, the 4 lines roughly correlate with the 4 quarters of life, and I think each quarter lived, he gets a little bit wiser. The wisdom he paid for with me time through all the lying days of my youth is confusing line because the word lying could mean two different things, lying as in untruthful or as in lazy. I think the last line says, now I may wither into the truth. The word lying is supposed to be untruthful, so we see poet has a deep regret in his heart. So question number 95. Search the heads of the greatest rivers in the world. You shall find them but bubbles of water. Who is the author of this line? Option A, Oscar Wilde. Option C, John Webster. Option B, Francis Bacon. Option D, R.B. Sedian. So the answer of this question will be option number C, John Webster. John Webster's The Duchess of Malfi has been taken extracted lines. John Webster was an English Jacobean dramatist best known for his tragedies The White Devil and The Duchess of Malfi, which are often regarded as masterpieces of the early 70th century English stage. His life and career overlapped William Shakespeare. Question number 96. The title of Dylan Thomas' Deaths and Entrances was taken from option A, Rudyard Kipling's A Deathbed. Option B, T.S. Eliot, Mother in Cathedral. Option C, William Shakespeare, Macbeth. Option D, John Donne's Death's Due. So the answer of this question will be option number D, John Donne's Death Duel. Delian Thomas' Deaths and Entrances title was taken from John Donne's Death's Devil. Death's Devil is the final sermon delivered by John Donne as the Dean of St. Paul's Cathedral. Donne received notice to preach the sermon on the first Friday of Lent, 12 Feb 1631, but preached the sermon on 25th Feb 1631. The sermon was likely written out in full prior to Donne preaching it, as it was subsequently prepared for publication. The act of preaching exhausted Donne to those he had preached to. It seems as though he had delivered his own death sermon. Question number 97, and it is going to be the last question. Mango Shuffle, India's first major gay themed film, is an adaptation of Mahesh Dattani's play. Option A, On a Muggy Night in Mumbai. Option B, Do the Needful. Option C, Bravely Fought the Queen. Option D, Dance Like a Man. So the answer of this question will be option number A, and that is On a Muggy Night in Mumbai. Mango Shuffle, first major gay-themed film, is an adaptation of Mahesh Dattani play On a Muggy Night in Mumbai. A playwright of world stature, Mario Relic Westbury, On a Muggy Night in Mumbai is the first contemporary Indian play to openly tackle gay themes, love, partnership, trust, and betrayal. Mahesh Dattani is an Indian director, actor, playwright, and writer, and his notable works Final Solution, Dance Like a Man, Bravely Fought the Queen, 3 Days in September. Thank you.